Anything you want me to say about this figure that you want me to?
She's hot.
Hello and welcome to another Ouroboros figure review. Today we'll be doing the Asmus Devil May Cry 3 lady. She's probably one of my favorite female characters in a video game. She's one of the strongest characters in the game too, for a mere human compared to demons and, you know, half demons, half humans, blah blah blah. But she's probably one of the coolest characters too. Next to Nico from Devil May Cry 5, she's awesome. Let's get into this. She is probably one of the better figures out of the Devil May Cry line, purely because they took a very low graphic character and put it on in a 3D sculpt, and they did a really good job with that. There's a few things wrong with the outfit that we'll talk about, but other than that, she's probably one of the best looking ones. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, let's start off with the box. As you can see, there is a concept art of the character from the gallery in Devil May Cry 3, looking all, you know, pretty and stuff. Continuation on this side too. And then you have the prototype image on the back, all the information, and then you got the same image on the side here. And I just realized, if you guys can make it out, that says DMC302. But yeah, as you can see, it's a nice box. I do display it behind her to give a little bit of contrast with every other box on top of my cabinets, and it looks really nice. Yeah, good enough to display, you know. Alrighty, here we have all the accessories. Less is more in this case, due to the fact that you get this big f***off bazooka, which is pretty awesome. So obviously you get 2 pairs of hands, trigger hands and relaxed hands, which I think kind of sucks. I feel like they can at least give a little bit more variety in hands. Maybe even just a few grenades, and obviously you get her crossbow, her machine gun, and 2 handguns, and the big ass bazooka. This is detachable, I think, for storage wise in the box. Other than that, that just plugs straight in there and you don't really need to take it off. I will tell you guys now, before I get into the accessories too much, I won't be doing a pose with each accessory, purely because I don't want to damage the body. As I mentioned before, you get all the weapons. I wish they kind of came with maybe grenades or maybe a swap out head sculpt or something like that. But yeah, in the end, this will kind of do. Yeah, this thing is huge. As you can see, it is weathered quite nicely as well. It is mostly just a plain black, as well as like a lot of silver dry brushing, which looks really nice. Some red aspects. You've got some red over here on the trigger, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much to talk about. I kind of wish that this was more metallic blade metal looking. Other than that, it's quite nice. It looks pretty good. Yeah, and then you have the same kind of paint on each gun, with slight variations and differences. So these 2 guns they look similar, but they are different. So this one is a lot more detailed in, it's not as detailed as this one in the front section here. The magazines do come out. It's a pain in the ass, but oh, yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, they do come out, but I'm not going to try and take it out. The cool thing about these is they do cock back out as well, which is cool. And you can completely remove it. You can see that there is a bullet in there, which is cool. That's for both these guys, which is awesome. I guess you could kind of like leave it on the floor as if it's just run out of ammo, just over there. And you got a nice silver bit there where the empty shells come out, which is cool. Same with this guy. The magazine does come out. There we go. And it does cock back like so, only slightly. And then you can take that off too, with the bullet painted on the inside there, which is cool. I'm just gonna leave that like that. Almost like it's dismantled, which is really cool. This is really cool too. Looks nice. A little bit of a matte kind of gray on the handle here. A nice silver for the blade, as well as some nice dry brushing through these guys as well as this. I kind of wish these had maybe like a wood stock or something, but it's okay. Yeah, I think the paint is a little bit more wanting on some of the accessories, but the sculpt is really nice. And then this little flimsy bit here looks really cool too. Yeah, it looks really nice. And then you have the crossbow, which looks really cool. This like canister looking thing. I'm assuming that might have some sort of rope in it, so when she fires, she can maybe hook it on something. This does come back, which is really cool. I wouldn't do it too much because these bits here are just plain plastic. And then this does cock back as well. I don't think the trigger doesn't work, but this does kind of cock, which is really cool. See there? Nice kind of brown, nothing too spectacular, but still nicely done. Her hands are done quite well too. You can see they're just this like brown leather, and then they have these small bits of silver from where the rivets are, which looks really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the accessories. There's not much to talk about. Like, it does come with the stand, but you know, that's kind of mandatory these days with some figures. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, she has huge boots. They look really good. They look really, I suppose, realistic. If anything, they should be a little bit more red than this like browny red kind of leather, you know? It should be quite vivid red. And I think they got a lot of inspiration, or not inspiration, accuracy from the gallery art that was on the box rather than the actual gameplay footage. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's just a little bit of inaccuracies here and there, and we will get to that. But yeah, let's take a closer look. As you can see, it's done quite nice. It actually shows a lot more vivid on screen than it does in person. It's very like a deep tan red leather, but on screen it seems a little bit more maroon. And especially those laces aren't that pink in person. But yeah, there's obviously the boots are quite pink, and then you have the nice inlayer of stitching there, as well as some color variations. They were nicely weathered too. I will agree with that. They are nicely weathered. And then you have the sidearm pistol over here, which is not meant to go there at all. Yeah, it's actually meant to be holstered in the front by a stomach, by a pelvis area, but that's okay. The boots look really good. Yeah, let's move up a little bit. Alrighty, here we have the thigh as well as the hip area. Looks quite nice. The body that she is wearing is a complete rubber body. Nothing too special about it. Because it is rubber, you can't necessarily paint it all that well. So there's very minimal muscle definition or shading, detail, etc., etc. The thing that I do wish they did was a scar on her leg here from when she got stabbed with her big ass bazooka by her father, which kind of isn't there. It's not there at all. Kind of sucks, but yeah, because of that, it's lacking in detail slightly. But again, it's just a plain rubber body. I assume that's why the scar isn't there. Her pants is meant to be a bright purple, not black. Again, I think that has something to do with the gallery image that we have on the front of the box, which is okay. You just can't see the detail and the coloration as what it would be in game, which kind of sucks. But no, it looks good. The thigh where this guy is hooks on very difficultly. You have to manually put on each strap, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that's all right. This strap is already built in, which is good. And the entire body was covered in this plastic, as you can see here. I tried to remove as much of the plastic, or as little of the plastic as possible, purely because I didn't want the rubber to get damaged in any way. So yeah, this looks really nice. There's some detail underneath the shirt, as you can see there, as well as it leading into the back, which is awesome. It's all a piece of plastic, kind of this like schoolgirl-like patterning on it, for, you know, the typical schoolgirl skirt that they would wear with this cross-stitching kind of thing. I actually thought this was a schoolgirl outfit when I first saw it, until I realized that they're loaded with guns like crazy. And that gun that's on her right calf is meant to be in front here. And then her machine gun is meant to be kind of stashed here, which kind of sucks that they didn't do that properly. But again, that's okay. It doesn't look too bad. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't put any of the holsters on the front here. It would have taken minor adjustments, but that's okay. Does not matter. And yeah, let's move up the figure a little bit more, shall we? Alrighty, I do like the way that they did this figure. The shirt looks amazing. Pretty good. You know, a figure is good when there's more detail in the figure that you didn't pick up in the game, which is awesome, which is this figure exactly. There's actually a slight frilling on her collar, like this, just a patterning on it. I'll try and get a close-up of that. Yeah, the one thing that I dislike about having a rubber body is that, one, it does hide a lot of seams, but I think after a while the rubber kind of messes up. I haven't had any issues with this figure yet, but I am very reluctant on peeling or like just moving this down to actually see if there's any slits here and here. But another issue is it looks like the bulging on her wrists don't look that good. It looks like the glove actually goes underneath the skin rather than the other way around, where the skin is meant to be underneath the glove. But it's not overly noticeable. I'm just yeah, trying not to do too many dynamic poses to make sure that she stays in one piece, you know? But yeah, no, the tailoring on this, exactly like Dante and Virgil, and Nero even, is amazing. And yeah, I'm very impressed with it. I'll have to move her hand for this, but yeah, let's move on to the head sculpt. All right, here we have the head sculpt. Really impressed with how they executed this head sculpt. It generally does look really, really good. Very impressive. I like the individual sculpt on her hair, how it kind of flicks out. That's true to the game, which is really impressive. And that awkward kind of shape, how she looks like she's been sleeping for a while, so her hair in the back here is kind of tufted up. Really impressive. As well as the eyes look really nice. That gloss looks really good. The gloss on the lips look really nice too. Very fair skin. It's kind of difficult to record all the detail due to how fair the skin is and how it's coming up on the screen. But you can see that small cut on her nose just there, which looks really good. And her two different color eyes signifying, I think, good and evil or something like that. The eyebrows are painted really well. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Yeah, as you can see, the detail in her face, it looks really nice. You see those painted eyelashes. I would say that the paint on the face is, I wouldn't say Hot Toys-like, but damn near close. It's very impressive. These other brands of figures are really coming up, especially with that Tom Hardy Venom from Toy Era. They did really well on his face. Same with this one. This is very impressive. The hair is wanting a bit more in paint-wise, but, you know, it's still decent. But yeah, no, they did really well with this figure. And yeah, I'm just very impressed. Alright, thank you very much for tuning into this figure review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. She's definitely worth picking up. One of the coolest characters. I think she's still available on Asmus as well as Sideshow. I picked her up in store, actually. We were walking past and I saw her. I'm like, I need that. And I didn't want to actually get her, and then I saw her in person. I was like, she looks awesome. And I'm really happy I picked her up. She suits the line so well. Thank you very much to my subscribers as well as my viewers. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and check out my Patreon. And yeah, thank you to my Patreon subscribers at the moment. Thank you all for watching, and stay safe, guys.